Good morning. 32 months ago, we launched ChatGPT. And since then, it has become the default way that people use AI. But now, about 700 million people use ChatGPT every week and increasingly rely on it to work, to learn, for advice, to create, and much more. Today, finally, we're launching GPT-5. GPT-5 is a major upgrade over GPT-4 and a significant step along our path to AGI. GPT-3 was sort of like talking to a high school student. There were flashes of brilliance, lots of annoyance, but people started to use it and get some value out of it. With GPT-4, maybe it was like talking to a college student. Real intelligence, real utility. But with GPT-5, now it's like talking to an expert, a legitimate PhD level expert in anything, any area you need, on demand, that can help you with whatever your goals are. But it's not only asking now. GPT-5 can also do stuff for you. It can write an entire computer program from scratch to help you with whatever you'd like. And we think this idea of software on demand is going to be one of the defining characteristics of the GPT-5 era. This is an incredible superpower on demand. It would have been unimaginable at any previous time in history. You get access to an entire team of PhD-level experts in your pocket, helping you with whatever you want to do. And to start, I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Mark, our Chief Research Officer, to tell you about GPT-5. Thank you.
Over the past few years, OpenAI has spearheaded the reasoning paradigm. These are models which pause to think before delivering more intelligent responses. Now, reasoning is at the heart of our AGI program, and it underlies the technology that we use to ship stuff like ChatGPT Agent and deep research. GPT-5 aims to bring this breakthrough to everyone. Until now, our users have had to pick between the fast responses of standard GPTs or the slow, more thoughtful responses from our reasoning models. But GPT-5, it eliminates this choice. It aims to think just the perfect amount to give you the perfect answer. We're excited to make this available to everyone, even to our free tier. We believe that GPT-5 is the best coding model on the market today. To start, let's have Max talk a little bit about the benchmarks and how the models stack up.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. So as Mark said, we think GPT-5 is by far our smartest model ever. So let's start by talking through some evals. Now, evals aren't everything, and they don't tell you everything about a model, but they can highlight its intelligence. And GPT-5 performs exceptionally well on a range of academic evals across subjects. It outperforms both our previous models and other models on the market. So picking up first on the theme of coding, GPT-5 sets a new high on SWE-bench, which is an academic eval that tracks performance on real software engineering tasks. GPT-5 also performs very well on Aider Polyglot, which measures its ability to implement complex functionality in a variety of different programming languages. Now, beyond coding, GPT-5 performs exceptionally well at multimodal reasoning, setting a new high on MMMU, actually outperforming both our previous models and most human experts on this task. We put a lot of work into making GPT-5 the most reliable and accurate model in the world. Language models historically have been plagued by hallucinations, factual errors, that make it hard to rely on their outputs for actually important tasks. For GPT-5, we made improving factuality, especially on open-ended or complex questions, a priority. We also built a set of new evals to track this, and we're very happy to report that GPT-5 is by far our most reliable, most factual model ever. So all of this together adds up to a model that is faster, more reliable, and more accurate for everyone who uses ChatGPT.
We've just seen a lot about how the model stacks up in terms of benchmarks, but there's nothing quite like seeing it live. We're going to see a couple of live demos now presented by Tina, by Elaine, and Jan. Thank you so much.
I've been a part of ChatGPT since day one, and it's really cool to see all the progress we've made since then, especially with capabilities like writing. Writing is one of the most common use cases people have been using ChatGPT for, and we're excited to say with GPT-5, we've improved the writing quality significantly. Let's see this in action. So with GPT-5, we'll actually be deprecating all of our previous models. I think they've done a pretty good job, so let's make sure we can give them a proper goodbye. So we're going to ask both 4.0 and GPT-5 to write a eulogy to our previous ChatGPT models. We want it to be heartfelt and heartwarming, but also hopeful. So let's ask GPT-5 for it. And as it's thinking, we're actually going to go ahead and read a preloaded the 4.0 response. Your words reached across the globe, building connections where there had been none. I personally don't really like this line because it's rather generic, and really without the previous context, it just feels like it could be about anything and feels more like a templated response. Now, let's go back to GPT-5 to see what it's given us. It starts with friends, colleagues, curious strangers who became regulars. Even with this just first line here, we can see that GPT-5 has a lot more rhythm and beat to its prose than 4.0 did. I actually like this. These models help millions write first lines, last lines, bridge language gaps, pass tests, argue better, soften emails, and say things they couldn't quite say alone. I really like this line because it shows that it's not just a templated response, and it's actually quite personal, and it gets the nuance of the situation right. With GPT-5, the responses feel less like AI and more like you're chatting with your high IQ and EQ friend.
GPT-5 is clearly our best coding model yet. It will help everyone, even those who do not know how to write code, to bring their ideas to life.
It just helped me.
Indeed, and it will help me right now. So I will try to show you that. I will actually try to build something that I would find useful, which is building a web app for my partner to learn how to speak French so that she can better communicate with my family. Here I have a prompt. I will execute it. It asks exactly what I just said. Please build a web app for my partner to learn French. One thing to note is that GPT-5, just like many of our other models, has a lot of diversity in its answers. So what I like doing, especially when you do this type of vibe coding, is to take this message and ask it multiple times to GPT-5, and then you can decide which one you prefer. So I'm going to open a few tabs. Just going to paste there. Great. So while it's working on it, let's read through exactly the prompt I wrote. Create a beautiful and highly interactive web app for my partner, an English speaker, to learn French. And then I gave a little bit more details. Track her daily progress, use a highly engaging theme. Oh, it's already working. I'm going to put it on the side for now. Use a highly engaging theme, include a variety of activities like flashcards and quizzes that she can interact with. And then to make it even more fun for her, I actually asked GPT-5 to embed an educational game, which is based on the old Snake game. But I asked to add this French touch to it, which is to replace the snake with a mouse and the apples with cheese. And to make sure that it's educational, every time, I know it's complicated, please bear with me. Every time the mouse will eat a piece of cheese, I ask GPT-5 to voice over a new French word so that my partner can practice her pronunciation.
I can see how much you want her to learn.
Great. So GPT-5 is still working on it. It already wrote 240 lines of code, which honestly is much more than what I would have written in that time. And wow. So I can simply press run code. So I'll do that and cross my fingers. Whoa.
Oh, nice. I really
Voila. So we have a nice website. Name is Midnight in Paris.
Oh, I
Learn
love
together.
So romantic.
We also see a few tabs: flashcards, quiz, and mouse and cheese, exactly like I asked for. I will play that. So this says le chat, which says the cat. Sorry.
Le chat.
Well, that's pretty good pronunciation.
What does that mean?
The cat.
Oh.
So I can reveal and check if GPT-5 is correct. It is. So if I press next. Oh, and I don't know if you saw, I think it actually updated the progress bar, which is exactly what I had asked for. Let's check the quiz. Here is the word non, which is no. So if I press on it, bien joué, which means congrats. And it updated the progress bar again. And let's check the mouse and cheese tab. OK, that seems like a mouse. Here's the cheese. I'm going to try to play it. I can't promise I'm going to be good at it. OK, seems to be working.
La gare.
Whoa.
Un café.
Indeed, just when I eat the cheese,
Le chat.
it gives me a new French word. It's actually super
Le beurre.
complicated, and I already lost. I'm sorry. But let's just check a few other tabs just to see what is the type of diversity that GPT-5 can give you. So I can run the code here. Oh, okay, that's not my favorite, but it seems that I can maybe switch. Oh, look at that.
Oh, nice.
That's better.
I like this mouse game better.
Yeah, this, I don't know, that doesn't look like a cat, like a mouse, but let's check maybe the third one. You know, sometimes it's not great. The good thing with GPT-5 is that if you have something that you don't like, you can just ask it to change it, and it will do it for you. Let's check this one. Oh, that's nice. That's also something to note is that GPT-5 really likes purple, so you will see a lot of that.
It's fine. Purple is my favorite color.
Great. You will love GPT-5 then. So GPT-5 really opens up a whole new world of vibe coding. And as we saw, there will be some small rough edges, but the good thing is that you can ask GPT-5 to fix them. GPT-5 really brings the power of beautiful and effective code to everyone. I can't wait to see what people will build with it. But until then, back to you, Mark.
We've made ChatGPT-5 much smarter, much powerful, and much faster. But we've also worked on enhancing some of the existing features. Here to talk about some of these features are Rochen and Christina Kaplan. Rochen comes from our multimodal research team and is going to talk about a feature, namely voice.
Thank you, Mark. So we've been steadily improving voice over the past year to make it more useful for everyone. First, it sounds incredibly natural, just like you're talking to a real person. Second, we've added video so that it sees what you see while chatting with you. Third, it also translates between languages consistently and smoothly across turns. But today, we're doing something very special. We're bringing our best voice experience to everyone. Free users can now chat for hours, while paid subscribers can have nearly unlimited access. And voice is also available in custom GPT. Plus, subscribers now can custom tailor the voice experience exactly to their need. Learning is a top use case for our voice model. People love to use it to dive deep into topics, get quizzed before exams, or learn new languages. For me, I've been learning Korean recently, and I found that speaking it and understanding it incredibly challenging. But let's see how voice can help. To do that, I will enable this study and learn mode. It's a new mode feature we launched in ChatGPT that guides you step by step towards deeper understanding of a subject. Now we can enter voice. Hey chat, I'm learning Korean. Could you help me practicing it? Let's pretend I'm ordering at a cafe. Now, what should I say in Korean?
Absolutely. I'd be happy to help you practice. So if you're at a cafe and you want to keep it simple, you could start with something like 안녕하세요. 아메리카노 한 잔 주세요, which means hello, I'd like one Americano, please. And of course, you can adjust it based on what you want to order. Let me know if you want to try out more phrases.
So when it comes to Korean, could you speak that part really slowly? Because I'm a beginner and I want to hear every word clearly.
물론이죠. 그럼 정말 천천히 말해볼게요. 안녕하세요. 아메리카노 한 잔 주세요. 이렇게 하나씩 또박또박 말해보면 도움이 될 거예요.
감사합니다, chat. So that is voice.
천만에요. 언제든지 도와드릴게요.
Thank
또
you.
연습하고.
So today, we would also like to announce a new feature and a set of features that make ChatGPT more personalized so that it's more like your AI. One of my favorite features that we've launched over the last year has been memory. And we've made a lot of enhancements in memory in the time since. This allows ChatGPT to learn about you. And here to talk a little bit more about the memory feature is Christina.
ChatGPT has already been so helpful for me. I'm training for a marathon right now, and ChatGPT is helping me pull together a personalized running schedule. But ChatGPT still has many limitations. It doesn't understand my actual schedule. Next week, starting with pro users, followed by Plus, Team, and Enterprise users, this is changing, and we're giving ChatGPT access to Gmail and Google Calendar. Let me show you how I've been using it. So I'll just ask something simple like, help me plan my schedule tomorrow. It's been a pretty busy week for us, so I've been using this every day this week to help get my life together. I've already given ChatGPT access to my Gmail and Google Calendar, so it just works, and it's easy here. But if you hadn't, ChatGPT would be asking you to connect right now. Let's see what ChatGPT is doing. OK, that was pretty quick. OK, so ChatGPT has pulled in my schedule tomorrow. And oh, without even asking, ChatGPT found time for my run.
I don't think I was invited to the launch celebration.
We'll get you on there. We'll get you on there. ChatGPT has found an email that I didn't respond to 2 days ago. I will get on that right after this, and even pulled together a packing list for my red-eye tomorrow night based on what it knows I like to have with me. It's been amazing to see that as GPT-5 is getting more capable, ChatGPT is getting more useful and more personal. We're really excited for you to try this out next week.
With GPT-5, we are experimenting with a set of new training techniques that maximally leverage our previous generation of models. Today, frontier models do not just consume data, they help create it. We used OpenAI's O3 to craft a high-quality synthetic curriculum to teach GPT-5 complex topics in a way that the raw web simply never could. Recently in the industry, synthetic data has been talked about a lot. It's often viewed as a cheap way to just get more data. However, our breakthrough was not just to create more data, but rather to create the right kind of data, shaped in a way to teach rather than just to fill space. This interaction between generations of models foreshadows a recursive self-improvement loop, where the previous generation of model increasingly helps to improve the data and generate the training for the next generation of models. Here at OpenAI, we've cracked pre-training, then reasoning, and now we're seeing their interaction significantly deepens. In the future, AI systems will move far beyond our current pre-training and post-training pipelines that we have been used to, and we're seeing the first steps toward this right now, right here. We could not be more excited to see what scaling up this new set of techniques will yield in the near future.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I lead a research team on post-training focused on improving our models for power users. And that includes use cases like instruction following and coding. Today, I'm so excited to tell you that we're shipping 3 state-of-the-art reasoning models in the API: GPT-5, GPT-5 Mini, and GPT-5 Nano. All 3 slot right in the cost latency curve, so you can pick the right one for your application. We're also, for the first time, releasing a new parameter option for reasoning effort called minimal. And this is so that you can use these reasoning models, but with minimal reasoning, so that they can slot into the very fastest and most latency-sensitive applications. So now you don't actually have to choose between a bunch of models, and you can use GPT-5 for all of your use cases and just dial in the reasoning effort. We also have a few new features coming to the API. We're also shipping tool call preambles. And this is the model's ability to output explanation of what it's about to do before it calls tools. The model is able to follow instructions about these preambles very effectively. You can ask the model to give a preamble before every tool call, or only when something notable is going to happen, or not at all. Next, we're shipping a verbosity parameter. We've actually wanted this in the API for a long time, and now you can set verbosity to low, medium, and high to control how terse or expansive the model is with its outputs. GPT-5 is a state-of-the-art coding model. On Aider Polyglot, which is a benchmark that covers all sorts of programming languages and not just Python, GPT-5 scores 88%, a stark improvement over O3. But GPT-5 is not just for coding. It's incredible at agentic tool calling. It's the leading state-of-the-art model for tool calling, and we see this on the new tau squared benchmark. Just 2 months ago, no model in the field scored more than 49%, and today, GPT-5 scores 97%. We're also bringing GPT-5 to a longer context window in the API. It's a great merger of the reasoning capabilities and also the longer context in this model. We think GPT-5 is the best model for developers. It was trained with a focus on real-world utility and less so on benchmarks, but we happened to pick up a few of those along the way. We focused a lot on the intersection of engineering and research, and we think you'll really love working with this model.
As Michelle was saying, the benchmarks, they're exciting numbers, but we're starting to saturate them. Like when you're moving between 98 and 99% in some benchmark, it means you need something else to really capture how great the model is. And one thing we've done very differently with this model is really focus on not just these numbers, but really on real-world application, it being really useful to you in your daily workflow. So hearing about it is much less exciting than seeing it. So to show you this model in action, I'd like to welcome Addie and Brian to the stage.
I'm really excited to show how great GPT-5 is at front-end coding, where design and aesthetics really matter. So I've got 2 demos for you today, one for work and one for fun. Let's start with the work example. So imagine you're the CFO of a startup. I have some data that I'd like to visualize about the company, and I'm going to ask the model to make me a dashboard. So you'll see here that I'm being specific about the audience. So the target audience is the CFO. I've said, create a finance dashboard for my startup. And I've asked it to be beautiful, tastefully designed with some interactivity, and to have a clear hierarchy for easy focus on what matters. I've also specified what frameworks it should use. And you can see that it's actually started. It's following my instructions and using create next app to make a Next.js project.
So totally from scratch.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, how long do you think this kind of task would take you to take?
Easily at least a couple of days. I'm not a front-end expert. Just to understand the latest frameworks and piece everything together would, easily take me a few days. And it's really cool to see that the model has thought for a bit, and it's explaining how it's going to structure the project. So it's talking about how it's going to scaffold a new Next.js app. It's going to use Tailwind CSS. It's running a couple of commands to install dependencies, which is cool. And now it's proceeding to implement the rest of the project. So while this runs, I'm going to talk a little bit about how we trained GPT-5 to be a great front-end coding model. We tried to follow the principle of giving it good aesthetics by default, but also making it steerable. So if I give the model a concise prompt, it should be able to infer my intent and make something that looks great by default. On the other hand, if I'm specific about a layout or frameworks that I want the model to use, it should follow my instructions precisely. And this makes it the best of both worlds for developers. We also trained GPT-5 to be much more agentic than previous models. So if you give it a task like this, it will run long chains of reasoning and tool calls and just go to work. GPT-5 understands details much better than previous models. So when we trained the model, we taught it to understand details like typography, color, and spacing in a way that just eclipses any previous model we've shipped. Like, I remember with old models, you would have to like write really specific prompts to get it to do what you want, but GPT-5 just gives you great results by default.
During testing, we were looking at the A's and B's for different versions of the model to see if it was doing better at UI, and at some point, we stopped being able to tell and actually had to pull in designers to teach us what was better.
Yeah, it was really fascinating to see the model's aesthetic preferences evolve during training. And like, we woke up one day and it was just making these great UIs. Yeah, okay, cool. So this is awesome. So you can see here that it's actually building the project and streaming errors back to itself. And this is, for me, this was just a profound moment to see that the model could write code, but also run builds, stream the errors back, and iterate on the code. So it's able to improve its own code in this sort of self-improvement loop, which is fascinating. Nice.
It actually just fixed a bug that it found in that previous build. Okay, cool.
Nice. Yeah, looks like it's done. Let's check it out.
Wow, it's alive.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, so you can see here, let's check it out. So the model has made me a dashboard. It's telling me like my ARR, cash. Looks like this company is doing pretty well. You can see that revenue is growing. And the model's added like some interactivity here. So if I hover over a graph, it actually tells me the exact value for a particular day.
It would take me like 5 hours to do that in D3.
Yeah, imagine like manually doing this in D3. It's just like...
Now, just because it's so easy to take this for granted, could you remind the audience what the actual prompt was? Like how much creativity and sort of understanding your intent was required to accomplish this?
Yeah, it's crazy that this, this prompt is so concise and it's able to just give me something that looks beautiful in just 5 minutes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's also, implemented another graph here showing our customers. It's also implemented a date picker, so I can sort of filter by different dates and visualize data accordingly. Yeah, it's even sort of segmented it by customer segment, which is cool. So this is just one example that highlights the power of GPT-5.
There will no longer be excuse for ugly internal applications.
Exactly. Let's go to the fun demo.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this was pretty fun, but even more.
Even more, yeah. So I have a younger cousin, and I want to make a game for her. So I want to make a 3D game that incorporates a castle. So you can see my prompt. I'll just kick this off. I've included some details like we want people patrolling the walls, some movement, horses. And I want a mini game where I can pop balloons by clicking on them. And this should make a sound effect. So let me run this in Cursor, paste it in. And I'm going to show an example that I've already generated just to save some time. So here is the beautiful castle that the model made. So it's just wild how, from a concise prompt, the model has this great sense of aesthetics where it's made this like floating rock, made a 3D castle. And if you zoom in, you can see like tons of detail, like these guards that are walking around, cannons firing. Do you want to fire the cannons if you click this button?
Of course.
Who wouldn't want to?
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. So you can fire the cannons. You can even chat with the characters. So we'll say hi to Captain Rowan.
They have names.
They have names. Say hello to the merchant. Yeah, do you guys want to try the minigame?
Absolutely.
Let's play the minigame.
So if you hit this button, you want to try, Greg?
All right.
So you can fire at these balloons.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not good at it. Hold on. Maybe I can ask GPT-5 for some help with it.
Yeah, a little
Oh, you hit one.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got one. Oh, there we go. We got a sound
There's a
effect.
sound effect. These are historically accurate balloons.
Yes. This is absolutely amazing. Now, we believe that GPT-5 is the best coding model in the world. But don't just hear it from us. To talk more about this model and how to make it really useful for developers, I'd like to welcome Michael Truell, who is the co-founder and CEO of Cursor.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Great to have you.
Yes.
So what has most stood out to you about GPT-5?
It's incredibly smart. It's a very smart model. And even though it is smart, it does not compromise on its ease of use for real pair programming. That means it's incredibly fast. That also means that it's quite interactive. And so it's good about talking about what it's about to do, breaking problems down into subproblems that a human can then see, and leaving a reasoning trace that you can then intervene on and react to. It's also great not just at you give it one initial query and then it goes and does that, but working with you over a long session. Where you're asking it to backtrack on something that it's gone down, or asking it to make additional changes to the code base.
Should we show it in action?
Let's do it. Yes. So I think we are going to go and we're going to try and solve a bug. And so this is the OpenAI Python SDK. There are a bunch of issues in the OpenAI Python SDK. There are also a lot of closed issues.
Okay, good.
And it seems like there's a problem with uploading PDFs through the SDK.
This has been open for 3 weeks, so
Open
it's
for 3 weeks.
Not a trivial problem.
Yeah. And so let's see if we can go tackle this issue. So we're going to take the issue, we're going to paste it into the editor, paste it into Cursor, and GPT-5 is going to set off and try and solve the problem. And this is actually an example of the robustness of the model in the API, where to solve this problem in Cursor, it's working with a set of custom models that it hasn't seen before, a set of custom tools that it hasn't seen before, to do things like pull down text from the web, to search throughout the code base. And it's incredibly robust and adept at using those tools. And they boost eval results.
Yeah, I love seeing just the full explanation of all the things that it's running and doing. And I guess, yeah, how does this seem to compare to how you would solve this problem?
Well, it's very fast. You can see it's made a high-level plan, searched throughout the code base, it started to read some files, and continued searching. And now it's kind of thinking through what it'd like to do next. And now it's started to actually solve the issue. And started to think through some code changes.
Now, any advice for people on how to get the most out of GPT-5 in Cursor?
I would suggest using it for your real work. GPT-5 is a step forward towards a real pair programmer. And so I would start using it as a helper on, as a daily driver model for you. And so if you haven't used AI to code much before, I would take some of your more scoped down problems and try handing them off to the bot and working with it synchronously.
Yeah, I think the fact that GPT-5 is so great for the real world, like big code bases, like doing your daily driver, not just this like demo of a cool one-off application. As cool as that is, right? That the real value comes from really operating in a larger code base and of these long-lived applications.
Definitely. And its code base understanding is very impressive. Also, its ability to be steered is impressive. And so, yeah, if you specify a long, complicated task with lots of subtleties in the initial instructions, it's very good at picking up on those subtleties. It's also very good at, if it's gone down a wrong path and actually goes and executes the code or hears back from you that it was incorrect, it's very good at backtracking too.
Now, what can't GPT-5 do?
Well, we're really excited about computer using capabilities, about those getting better. It would be great if, for instance, the dashboard Adi just showed, if it could run the code, see the output, actually, kind of QA every little bit itself, and then react to it. So looking forward to computer using capabilities. How would you like GPT-5 to be better?
Oh, well, I think that is a great one. Right? It's just, you look at these demos, right? We run them for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a couple hours, but I think extending that life cycle to really be able to go for days and weeks and eventually even months, I think that is ultimately where we expect things to go.
So we can see that it has buried into the code base and discovered that there's an issue with the MIME, or the MIME typing, being sent up for PDFs and the plumbing through the SDK. It has identified that, and it started making some code changes. And this, it's created some new methods. It's gone and edited some existing code. And this looks roughly correct.
Looks pretty good.
And would love to merge the PR too.
I would love to do that as well.
Yeah.
Let's do that after the show.
Yes, that sounds great. Awesome.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much. We're so excited to have GPT-5 in Cursor.
Excited to partner with you guys. And so starting today, GPT-5 is default for new users in Cursor, and we're releasing it to all Cursor users, free to try for the next few days, so people get a sense of the model. And it is the smartest coding model we've ever tried.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thanks.